You're late.
You're one to talk. How much earlier did you get back again? I'd be surprised if you searched at all.
This is it?
Clover and Tenmyoji still aren't back.
So, find anything?
Yeah. Yeah, we sure did.
Yeah? Well, go on, spill it.
We found the little guy. I explained them how we found Quark in the treatment center.
I see. Oh, that's good to hear.
Jerk, making us all worried.
There is more.
And that is?
There is still some cause for concern.
Just spit it out.
Quark may have contracted an illness of some sort. As such, he has been left in the treatment pod.
Will he be alright?
He'll probably.
Probably? Do you even...
No.
Whatever. At least we found
Oh
him.
gosh, we lost our nurse. Oh, because Luna's dead in this timeline.
Pretty lucky he's alive, too.
What do you mean by that?
I mean what I said, genius. I'm glad he's not dead, aren't you?
As equivocal as ever, I see.
How kind of you to say so.
So, was Quark all you found? The way you were talking made it sound like there was something else.
Yeah, I'll explain that after Tenmyoji and Clover get back. Pretty much. He is. He's very thick. There's something I wanted to ask about you first. When you went through the green door, did you search 2 different rooms?
2?
No, just the treatment center.
I see. Then what was the other one?
What do you mean, the other one?
You know, where there's that intersection with the 3 doors? Well, when Kay and I went there, 2 of the doors were unlocked. You guys unlocked the one that went to the treatment center when you went through the green door. But the other one?
Who could have opened it?
Don't look at me. I told you, we only opened the one that went to the treatment center.
Could it have been Zero Senior?
Actually, also that rules out it being Quark. Because he would have been the treatment pod.
So did you and Kay go through the other door?
Yeah.
What was in there?
Nothing,
It
really.
appeared to be some sort of room for servicing something.
That doesn't make any sense. So what the hell was whoever opened that door looking for?
Who knows?
Tenmyoji and Clover are running rather late. Should we go and look for them?
There's something I want to check first.
It's never easy with
Like this
you, is
cookie.
it?
Well, let's get it over with. Huh.
Oh.
This is the rec room. Dio and I came here earlier when we were looking for Quark.
So why are we here?
Was there something here you needed to see?
I said nothing, and instead made my way over towards the cabinet. I like that he's saying nothing. Inside was the luminol. I reached in and pulled it out, then headed to the light switch and flipped it. The room went dark, and I headed back to where the others were, still standing.
Whoa, whoa, what is this? You gonna start telling ghost stories or something?
Why, you scared of ghosts? I ain't afraid of no ghosts.
You're kidding me, right?
Now show me how brave you are. Stick out your bracelet. You too, Fi, please.
Our bracelets?
Yeah. I want to see the underside of
What
them.
do you mean by that?
I mean the side on the bottom. The side that doesn't have the display on it. Come on. You're really gonna make me explain this?
I know what you mean. What I'm asking is what the hell you think you're...
Just do it. It's not hard.
Should I also participate?
You're fine. Your bracelet is a little different from ours. But I'll join in just to make it fair. There was a brief moment of hesitation before Dio and Fi stuck out their arms. I held mine out as well, wrist pointed upward.
This okay?
Yeah, just hold it like that for a moment. As fast as I could, I pulled the luminol from my pocket and sprayed it across all 3 of our wrists.
Ugh, cold. What the hell, man?
Dio jerked his arm back with a shout. Don't see anything glowing, but his bracelet is clean. So is mine, of course.
That leaves only Dio.
Wait, what are you talking about?
I'll explain in a minute. Just show me your bracelet. Is something wrong? Just show it to me. Come on, Dio, we don't have time for this.
Why do I have to do what you tell me to?
Because I'm trying to prove your innocence.
Oh, like hell you are. I don't know what you're looking for, but you're not gonna find it on me.
Then just show me your arm.
No! You don't get to order me around. I have rights!
Oh, please. As he spoke, Dio made a break for the exit. He didn't get far.
I'm afraid I can't let you do that, Dio.
He spun around toward the other exit. Stop him!
Right!
Don't know what you're talking about, but okay.
All three of us leapt at Dio. Oh, there's actually a little animation for it? He's it. He took it. Oh, yeah. We have a reason to hate Dio even more. Woo! His bracelet's glowing. Then that means...
Let me go! Get off of me, you fuckers!
language. You killed the old lady.
No! You don't understand. This is all some kind of a mistake. Shit.
What's going on here? I think it's about time you gave us the full story.
As quick as I could, I explained to Fine Kay and I had noticed the old woman's wrist.
So the person with the bloody bracelet would have to be the person who killed her.
Oh, yeah. If they wiped it off, I figured some luminol would still react to the blood. Looks like I was right. Got you, Dio. You might as well confess. Well.
Alright, fine. You caught me. I did it. I killed the old bitch and took her bracelet.
Are
Why?
you Zero?
No. I was under orders. I was sent here to do something.
To do what?
Who gave you this order?
I'll die before I tell you.
So your orders were more important than Alice and Luna's lives?
Whoa, let's not get ahead of ourselves. I killed the old lady, but that's it. I don't know anything about what happened to Alice and Luna.
Tread carefully, Sigma. This man is not to be trusted. He has already shown he is willing to lie and kill.
It's true.
Come on, I'm telling the truth.
That's actually a
gotta
very
believe
good point.
Even if we do believe you, you're still a killer. You just haven't killed as many people.
Exactly. He should be restrained somehow. If we leave him be, he may well kill again.
Hashtag agree. Put him in the
Is there a room you
cryopod.
can lock or anything?
Ah, perhaps we could put him in one of the treatment pods.
Yeah.
Once we've locked it, he should be unable to escape.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, wait! I'll be good, I promise.
Nope. Yeah, I think you're onto something, Kay. Let's go with that.
Come on, please. Hey, listen to me.
We'll let you out when the white doors open. Be fine. Someone's going to need your bracelet to open the secondary door.
Don't fuck with me, you guys. There's no way in hell I'm going in that thing. Let go.
Nope.
Let me go.
Nope.
God damn it.
Nope.
I told you assholes to let me go. You can't do this.
We have,
Stop.
just like you have rights, we have rights to
Stop.
hold you.
Please. No, you can't. Ah!
And so he went to sleep. At least he's not dead. There's a clock in there? Did you see that?
Open this fucking thing! I said open
No.
it, God damn it!
No.
Ugh. You're gonna pay for
There was a
this.
clock on the
Get
inside.
out of here, I'm gonna
Or
fucking
at least
hang
a
you!
symbol on it. So, I guess we figured out who the murderer was. Except for Alice and Luna.
Now all that's left to do is find Clover and Tenmyoji.
Why don't
Oh,
we
yeah,
head
they're
back
not-
to the warehouse and start from there?
They're
They may
somewhere
have already returned.
off. Good point.
Let's go.
My brain went to the theory of how this game makes you think. Like the macro scale, where the future can dictate how the past was selected. I'm trying to figure some things out in my head. But it's not worth trying to talk about it because it doesn't make sense in my head yet. Looks like they aren't back yet.
Perhaps they went to look for us.
Man. Now we've got to go looking for them?
How much time until the white doors open?
Couldn't we just wait here for the white doors to open? Oh, well, they still got 15 minutes. Okay.
Then I don't think we really need to hurry yet. Why don't we wait a little longer? For all we know, they're on their way back right now.
That's a good point. Kay and I nodded. We agreed. That's good.
By
Good
the
point.
way, there was something I wanted to ask you guys about. Yeah. Quark's bracelet. When we found him in the pod, he wasn't wearing it. Why?
How should I know?
Presumably, it had been taken off before we found him.
So we have no idea where it is.
Nope. Pretty much.
I see. That's not good. Without
Mears.
that bracelet, we won't be able to
Happy
continue
Saturday,
the game.
dude. I've been looking forward to it too.
We need 3 bracelets to open the secondary door. If we lose one,
Looking forward to it as well, man. We should be able to go through the secondary door. I also signed up to do some of the outlet castings. Hopefully, see if I can get any in there, but still waiting for Season 2 to start for the OWCC, man. Who would be pairing up with Quark?
Quark's bracelet should be.
You
a
applied to
red
the
Solo.
media? Nice.
That would mean he'd be with the Cyan pair.
Cyan pair. Who's the Cyan pair?
Clover and Tenmyoji.
The 2 people who are missing.
Quark's bracelet is gone, and his 2 teammates have disappeared.
That's weird. Does that mean Clover and Tenyoji took the bracelet? I don't think so.
Well, if they found Quark before you did, yeah, there's a good chance they did.
Then why aren't they back yet? Joy, the same people
Perhaps
I
they've
usually
already
cast
gone
for.
through the white door.
Same organization. That's not possible. The primary doors haven't even opened yet.
Perhaps someone opened one of them. I don't know. But it's happened before.
It has?
Remember the 3 doors on the other side of the green door? Someone made one of them open. Perhaps this is the same thing.
That's against the rules.
Yes, I know. But if the person opening the doors is Zero Senior, do you really think the rules matter? Zero Senior controls the entire game.
So
What's
are
the-
you saying Clover or Tenmyoji is Zero Senior?
But what's the point of running the game if you're just going to break your own rules? That's just kind of lame. It's the same concept behind why are you playing this skill-based game if you're just going to hack? I don't see the fun in it. At all.
It is a possibility. It would explain why they still haven't shown up.
Could they really have taken Quark's bracelet and gone through one of the white doors?
If it did, we won't know where they went until the doors open for the rest of us.
So I would assume.
This is still all just speculation, though. Maybe we should go look for them again. One of us can stay behind so that we don't miss them if they come back.
Okay. I'll stay.
Sigma and I will go see if we can find them then.
Make sure you get back 5 minutes before the door opens, all right? Oh, and don't forget to bring Dio with you.
Of course. Bring him back. Okay. Now, are we splitting up, me and Kay, or are we sticking together as bros? The polite person who basically betrayed us in the last little branch. The pantry. That could be bad. We hadn't done this room yet, I don't think.
So it would appear.
Yeah, I don't remember this one yet. That's probably down the middle path. We've done most of the right and some of the left. Looks like they're not here that we know of, unless they're in small little tiny
When we
pieces.
started looking for Quark, they were sent off to search everything beyond the red door, which would have meant this room.
It's true. Not gonna do us any good to hang around here, though. Let's head upstairs.
Very well.
Upstairs? Don't we go down? Or is floor A to B up? Up. So it goes A, B, C, D. Okay. We haven't actually gone through the white doors yet in any of our branches. Okay. We've done the lounge, right? This is the one with the bar? Yeah. Gosh, in an hour and a half, we've only done one room. This is a lot of cool story. No one here either. Tim the OG loves scotch so much, I thought he might have found him here drinking some. That's just something we think he knows. For all we know, actually, they could have done that other room with the empty safe. It was around that time that I noticed Kay was acting strangely. He was staring at the shelf of alcohol in a way that I probably would have described as blankly, if I could have actually seen his eyes. What? I'm still pretty sure he is a person, so let's see. What's up? You want a drink?
Oh, no. Well, I would enjoy a drink, but this mask...
That's right. Sorry, that sucks. Also, I got so used to the suit, I kind of forgotten you were wearing it. Why the heck did they make you wear that thing anyway? You still don't remember anything, right?
Well, actually, I did remember a little.
Dude, go on!
Yes,
What did you remember?
my father.
When, Dad, do you remember that? When did you remember that? God, did I just pop out of it?
Please, don't joke. This is serious.
Okay, sorry. So you remembered your dad.
Yes.
Go on. What about your mom?
I don't seem to have one.
Okay, so your dad raised you.
Well,
Or were you created? Kay stopped for a moment, then calmly folded his hands in front of him.
I was raised in the facility where my father worked.
Oh my gosh!
He was the only person who worked there, which meant he was the only person I saw until I was older. That had been the situation for as long as I could remember, though, so I never thought it odd.
Cute buff Zenyatta. Baby Zenyatta confirmed. He wouldn't allow me to go near him while I was working, but the only times he wasn't working were the times when he was sleeping. Okay, so this is Kay's talking. Not us, not Sigma. Just making sure we got that. As such, the only communication I had was with the education software he'd given me. I suppose I was fairly expressionless child then. We developed body language to communicate with others, and with no one else to communicate with, I suppose it makes sense. Once I learned to read and write, I began to realize that my situation was not normal. Many of my books mentioned a mother as part of a family, and in several, the mother, father, and children would eat meals together and talk to one another. But this is lost in the 21st century because we'd rather just eat in front of a TV and have our phones and not actually look at each other in the eyes and talk about our day. Soon I found myself longing for a mother of my own. Someone who would always be with me, who would scold me if I did something wrong. At night, they would read to me before bedtime. If only I had a mother like that, I thought, I would be happy. So, for the first time in my life, I asked my father for something. He had finished working and, as usual, was making his way toward his bedroom when I stopped him and asked for a mother. He looked at me silently for a long moment before finally responding, "Okay." I remember to this day how happy I was at that moment. A few months later, he called me into his laboratory. It was the first time he'd ever done anything like that. My heart was beating quickly as I stepped inside. Heart beating, so now I still think he's a real person. Standing next to him was a young woman, and my hopes soared. But when he said her name, or rather her ID number, they were dashed. He had given me a robot to play the part of a mother. I didn't want a mother that was just a machine who did what a human told her to. When I told my father that, he looked surprised for the first time in my life. Then he frowned, coughed, and admonished me for being a whiner. He'd never scolded me for anything before. At first I was surprised, then angry. Hot tears streamed down my face. My father ordered the robot to take care of me, and shoot us out of the lab. The robot was very convincing, and she smiled and spoke as if she was a real person, but I refused to answer her and locked myself in my room. She can talk to a robot, and you can talk to a robot, and it'll respond. But at the end, you're still talking to a machine, not a person. If that was what I'd wanted, I still had the education software my father had given me. When I ignored the robot, as it tried to take care of me, it looked sad. I couldn't really be sad, of course. It was only programmed to look that way. A robot's facade of sadness didn't mean anything to me. Okay, now he could actually still be a robot. Dang it. After that, I stopped expecting anything from my father. We'd never really spoken to begin with, so it was easy enough for me to make sure we never saw one another. I lived my life as if he didn't even exist. Perhaps it seems strange to you that I continue to live with him. But I'd never considered leaving. Perhaps in the hidden depths of my heart, I longed for a relationship with my father. Everything changed when I was 18. I left my room one morning to find a woman standing outside of it. She was the first human I'd ever seen, apart from my father, and I was understandably surprised. For a moment, I thought my father had created a new robot. But when I told her that, she laughed and explained that she had come to help him. As it turned out, she was a very mysterious person. She was much older than I was, but something about the way she behaved was almost girlish. She would tell me stories about the world outside in such a way that I was never sure if she was telling the truth or making up fantastic lies. Ultimately, though, the truth didn't matter. I loved her stories. She wasn't helping my father directly with his research, so I spent most of my days with her. Before long, I discovered she'd known my father when he was young. She told me stories how often she'd fall in love as a younger man. She told me stories of how he'd fallen, not her. He'd fallen in love as a younger man, and I began to imagine that the person he'd fallen in love with had been her, and that she was, in fact, secretly my mother. After she settled in with us, our long-established routine began to change drastically. Yeah! First, we started to eat together. Yes! Before then, I had never shared a meal with anyone in 18 years. She scolded me for my table manners, or more accurately, the lack thereof. If I was going to eat with the others, she said I would need to be more polite. Having eaten alone for my entire life, manners had never been something I'd even thought about. My father got into trouble too when he made the mistake of reading through research papers during dinner. Put those down, dear. Put those down. The look of surprise and embarrassment on his face made me burst into laughter. I couldn't remember the last time I'd shared a laugh with my father. It might have been the first time. The room we considered our living room changed too. Before it had just been another room, but she made it comfortable. After we finished our dinner, I would sit on the sofa and relax with her and my father. Those times were the ones I cherished the most. For a little while, every day I got the family I'd longed for ever since I was a child. This is nice. At a suggestion, I started to help with my father's research. He specialized in genetic engineering, and I discovered I had an interest in it as well. Time faded away as I lost myself in research. Now that we were working and studying together, my father and I had a great deal to talk about. For the first time in my life, we began to speak with one another like father and son. Whenever I impressed him with something I'd learned, I felt a surge of happiness, and it drove me to study even harder. My days felt full, right, and meaningful. But most importantly, I was happy. I can tell who they are now. That looks like the grandma, and that looks like Tenmyoji. 4 years passed in the blink of an eye until one day I happened to overhear my father and the woman speaking in the laboratory. Their tone was serious, so I listened closer, curious to know what they were talking about. That was when I heard her say that she planned to give her life to achieve their goals. It was clear that she wasn't being manipulated. Or metaphorical. She would have to die. I was in shock. The research I had thrown myself into would lead to her death? I asked my father to stop his research immediately. He refused to listen. She agreed with him. She told me that she had been prepared for what she had to do since the day she came to our facility. My father had known about it from the beginning as well. Angry and disappointed, I began to investigate what exactly the research I'd been helping with was working toward. Perhaps, I thought, I could figure out a way to keep her alive. I discovered much more than I'd bargained for. To begin with, I learned that the ultimate success of my father's research would require a good deal of sacrifice. I also learned that my own existence was just another part of his project. I had been created to function as my father's spare. If he had died during his research, I was intended to continue it in his place. We are a robot. I was stunned. I was furious with my father, and with her, and even with the research I'd poured myself into for 4 years. There was only one thing to do.
Destroy the facility and end my father's horrible research once and for all. All the world will burn.
I made plans to destroy the main reactor, and with it the entire facility. But she saw right through me. My father was livid, and locked me in our room until his research was complete. All I could think of was how I might stop him. Yeah, let the world burn. That's right, Joy. She did her best to convince me that I'd misunderstood, that everything would be fine. As much as I wanted to believe her, I remembered in the back of my mind that she had been the one who pushed me to become involved with my father's research. Had that been an earnest desire to give me something to do with my life, or... Still, I couldn't bring myself to hate her. She had given me a reason to live. Even if she had conspired with my father to mold me into his replacement, the warmth she'd shown me had been real. She'd made me feel as if I had a real family, and that was something I wouldn't have given up for the world. I pleaded with her to leave, but she quietly shook her head. There was something very special to her, she told me. He had saved her life once, and she felt her death would help to repay that favor. She would have liked nothing more than to marry him and live a happy, normal life together, but she couldn't. For his sake, she said, and for the sake of the future she had wanted, she was determined to see my father's research succeed. I realized then that although she was the most important person in my life, there was someone more important than me in hers. She tried to explain that beyond what we could see was a future where no one would have to die, but I refused to listen. What good was a potential future for me? It was what I had now that I wanted. I couldn't stand to think that she would give her life for a man I'd never even seen. So I shut myself off from the world. Perhaps that is why I lost my memory. Wow. Okay, then. Kay let out a deep, tired sigh.
I'm sorry. I lost track of time.
Dude, that's okay.
Not having any memories is less than desirable, but it could be argued that regaining them is almost more taxing.
So you remember almost everything.
No, the details are still indistinct, especially more recent events. Sigma, I'm sorry, but would it be alright if I laid down for a bit?
What's wrong?
I don't feel very well. It must be because I remembered so much so quickly. My head feels like it's going to explode. Yes.
Lay down.
I think I just
I
need
felt
to
like
rest.
this earlier today. Only it felt like I was going to fall into a hole. I'll go look for Clover and Tenmyoji myself. You didn't understand Kay's
sorry.
story of the first time?
Thank you.
Now, is that... Actually, I don't even want to ask the question if that's all we get of Kay's story. I imagine we get more later. Kay lowered himself heavily onto the red sofa in the corner of the room. And promptly exploded. Guess I better get moving then.